السلام عليكم ورحمة الله
حياك
وبركاته.
الله أستاذ حمد.
أنا أسمعكم وبس كنت أنتظر المركزي يقدم، لكن خليني أتأكد الصوت واضح عند الجميع اللي موجودين. طيب أنتم بإمكانكم تستخدمون الشات، فإذا الصوت واضح أعطوني مثلا رقم 1. أوكي. Thank you. That means all of you can speak Arabic. Great. So yes, thank you. So we're going to talk about GAT, General Aptitude Test, about the quantitative section. So just do you all hear me well? Like Abbas says he can't hear me well. Abbas, you have to double check your connection or maybe the app you're using. Yeah, because I'm looking at the chat, so it's like Abbas, you're the one who was having a problem. Okay, so we're going to talk about GAT test. It's on it's like القدرات, but it's the English version, and it's well known in all the world. It's not just something here in Saudi Arabia. So all of you can see the slides that I'm sharing with you. Do you guys see the slides? Okay, great. So let's just start. It's 4:05. So we're going to talk about the test, the objectives of the test. So GAT, it's a test. The aim is to measure a student analytical and deductive skills. So this test is for students in high school who wants to apply for college, and this test is required by college. You are required to take it either in Arabic or English. If you're going to international schools, so taking it in English is going to be easier because of the terms like you're studying, like math and terms are all in English. And also there is a verbal section. It's going to be easier if you're taking it in English, especially the verbal section. So let's just be fast in these things, and if you have a question, you can just talk to me or write in the chat. Okay, so I'm going to be a little bit fast in this information about the test. So the test is measuring, like as we just said, it has two sections, quantitative and verbal, and these two sections are measuring some abilities. It's like the comprehension ability, recognizing logical relations. Okay, and when we said logical relations, it's also in the quantitative, in both quantitative and verbal, and ability to solve problems, and other abilities which are all easy. Okay, and as we just said, it has two sections, verbal and quantitative, and today we're going to talk about the quantitative section during these 2 hours, seeing some problems, talking about some techniques and some advice. Okay, as I just said, I'm going to be fast in this introduction because I know, like most of the students, they just want to see problems. Okay, the format of the test, it has like 6 sections, and each section is almost 25 minutes. I mean, what's written here, it's from the website from Qiyas. Okay, but I know, like when you're taking the computerized based test, there is some differences, but I'm taking the thing from their website. Okay, so I'm sharing here, it's what's written in their website. So the test consists of like 6 sections. Each section has 25. It's a 25 minutes long and has alternated questions from verbal and quantitative. Okay. And also, when we talk about the quantitative section, we're not talking about mathematics. Okay. So it's not mathematics. It's only basic algebra and some logical relations. So it's only require basic and general knowledge. This is one thing. So for you as a student, you have to be familiar with these questions for the test and how to do them fast and accurately. Okay. So the reason, like when we tell a student like to study, is to be familiar with the problems themselves, and also to know that the test is all multiple choice questions, 4 choices. So this is easy now. Okay, so you know that the test is all multiple choice questions, so you don't have to show your work except just to choose the right answer. Okay, and as for you, like for GAT, like the English version, now you only have a computerized test based. Okay, for you guys now, there is no paper based. They may change it later, but I mean, if you go back like for 2 years ago, there were only a paper-based test for GAT. Now there is only computerized-based test, okay? And it's different than the Arabic version. I mean, for you, there is only, you can just take it 4 times, okay? It's different than the Arabic version. They have like 4 strikes to do it, okay? And as I said, like if you have a question, can just raise hand, type something in the chat. This is for the Arabic version, okay? If you go to their websites, I mean, I'm taking the information from their websites, okay? And what they just saying that for the English version, yeah, they may change it at any times. Yeah, so this is the English. This is what they're saying in their websites. They may change it at any times. They said that the English version, there is only 4. You can just take it only 4 times. Not as the Arabic one, which is 5 times, okay? And also, you can take a paper-based. Yes, you can make the 5th one. It's in Arabic, yeah. But as for the English one, you can just take it only 4 times. So Abdullah is saying, what if I take 4 times in English and 1 time, and the 5th one, it has to be in Arabic? Yeah, you can do that. But as for the English version, you only have 4 strikes, okay? Hopefully this is clear for all of you. Yes, now there is no paper paste for GAT. I mean, if you go back, Rafa, if you go back 2 years ago, there is no computerized paste test for GAT. There is only paper paste, but now they change it. And we don't know, like maybe later they change, make both of them, or only stuck with the computerized paste test. Okay, shall I go? Continue? Okay. Yeah, it's for both. Yeah, I said that. Amara. Yes, it's for both, but if you want to take the English one, you only have 4 because it's only in computer-based test. Yes. But if you want to take the paper-based test, you have to take it in Arabic. There is no one in English. Okay? Hopefully this is clear. Okay, thank you. And you know, as always, like a question, I just arrange in the test from the easy to hard. Okay, in each section, they start with easier question and move to the difficult ones. Okay, and as they just said, like the number of items in each section are fixed, like, okay. But you may have, here is one thing like you have to understand. Sometimes like in some sections, you may have like one or more question more than the other sections, okay? So in each sometimes like in each test, they have some questions to be tested if they are good or bad, to use them in next exam, okay? So if you run in one section and you see like it has like more questions than the others, you have to know that there is like one or two questions are just like for them to review these questions, are not counted toward the scores. These questions, some of them are not counted toward the scores. Hopefully this is clear. So you don't have to worry. You have just to do all the problems in a test. Even if you have like one section that has more problems than the other, just do all the problems, okay? They won't tell you which one are not counted towards score, okay? And let's just talk about some tips. Like we have, we want to prepare for the test. So the best way to prepare is to review previous test problems, okay? And how to do that? You have to look for what they call them tajmi'at in Arabic. And if you can't read in Arabic, we're going to talk about some resources in English, okay? So this is the best way to review questions, types, and math concepts. Second, I'm not saying like memorize all. This is, you have to memorize all formulas you need to know. And who can tell you that? If you can review the problems from the previous tests, you can know what formulas you need to know, okay? So when we said like you have to memorize it, it would be easier for you if you memorize something. It would be just handy in a test, okay? Keep this in mind. This is too important, okay? I'm going to talk Ghali about resources. Just wait a bit. No problem requires lengthy computation. This test is not a math test. When we're talking about the quantitative, this is not a mathematic test. This is they call it like aptitude test, okay? So it's like some problems, if you can just do them fast and easy. If you know how to do it, you'll do it. If you don't know how to do it, sometimes you can't do it, okay? So just keep in mind, any problems you're facing when you're like preparing for the test, think of a short way to do it, okay? And here is some tip we're just telling the student about it. Like if you know the answer, just do it, okay? I mean, if you know the answer, you see a problem, it's easy, you know the answer, you don't have to waste time doing steps like in your scratch paper. No one cares about your steps. They all care like if you choose A or B or C or D, okay? And it's also important, you have to keep a track of time, okay? You have to keep a track of time. So when you're preparing for the test, you have to time yourself, okay? Like if you're taking like 25 problems, you time yourself like 26 or 30 minutes, just do them, okay? You have to make sure that you know how to manage time without looking at your watch, okay? And also you have to learn how to eliminate one or two choices from each problems, if possible, okay? As we just said, like it's all multiple choice questions, and there is no penalty for choosing the wrong one. So don't leave any question unanswered. Guess and mark. If you don't know how to do it, just guess and mark, okay? Make a better guess. Eliminate problems, I mean some choices, okay? But don't leave any problem or any question unanswered. Now, as for the resources, like if you go to any bookstore, you'll find like there is like 2 books there. The first one is called GAT, and the author is Brahim Qushair. That is the name of the author, Brahim Qushair. Okay, this is in the bookstore. It's for GAT. It's like it comes there like in 2019. This book, and there is another book, Zama GAT. It also has two books, like one for quantitative and the other for verbal, and the author is Ziyad or Zaid. So there are like two books in the bookstore. If you go to the bookstore, you'll see there are like two books. One is GAT for Brahim Qushair, and the other is Zama GAT for Zaid or Ziyad. Zayed or Zayed, I believe. Okay, so there are like some references in a bookstore, 1 and 2. Okay, any question about these two references? Any one of you have any of these two references, any of these two books? Let me just double check, like you can. Yeah, I'm not okay. I'm not going to go to say like this is better or that better. I mean, this one comes like 2 years. Let's just say that the first one, the one in the left, is 2 years old, and the one in the right is just come out like, I believe, like less than a month. So yeah, it's I agree with you, because it's this one doesn't, I don't see like a no edition for this one, and that one it just come out like a month ago, I believe, or less than a month. So yeah, you will see some errors in their typo or there. Okay, we'll do Turkey. Okay, so this book is just come like 2021. So you see that the date here. So this is new, and you can just, if you can find this one, would be better because it's just new. Okay. I'm not saying like here is Turkey. I mean, it's usually when books comes like for the first edition, they have some errors. Sometimes it's not that big deal, but they have some errors. Yeah, or some spelling mistakes, so some errors. Okay. So any question about these two references, or shall we just move? Okay. So let's just move to the quantitative section, talk about some problems here, and I want you to work with me, okay? Okay, so sometimes I just do one of problems and then give you one to practice with me for some sections. So as we just said, it's a multiple choice questions, so don't leave any question unmarked, okay? Let's just start with this simple problem. So what's the answer for this one? It's a sequence. It starts 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36. How to see? Okay, I see C. Okay, 36. Can you open your mic, Rafa? Can anyone just tell me why it's 36? It's an easy one. And we should start with easiest problem. An easy problem. Okay, C. Okay, can anyone open the mic and tell me why? Yeah, it's 6 by 6. Yeah, so the idea is square numbers. Okay, thank you, Kamal. Kamal said this is nothing, just 1 squared. This is 2 squared. This is 3 squared. This is 4 squared. This is what? 5 squared. And this should be 6 squared. This is the answer. It's 36. C. And as we just said, if you know the answer, just what? Choose it. You don't have to spend time doing some steps in your scratch paper. Okay, so this is easy. Shall I move to next one for you to practice? Yeah. Mishari, some what you have done, it's give you the answer, but maybe if you go more than 36, it won't work, okay? But till 36, yeah, you're doing good. But this is the way, like the actual sequence. Let's just move to this one.
أستاذ
أهلا.
بس عذرا عن المقاطعة، إذا أحد يبي يشارك بالمايك يقدر يرفع يده وإحنا نعطيه إذن الوصول للمايك.
طيب من اللي يتكلم معاي الحين؟ أنا من المركز أو من الطلاب؟
لا من المركز.
أهلا، شو اسمك عشان بس؟
هاشم
حياك الله يا هاشم. طيب يا هاشم قول لهم بالإنجليزي يا هاشم.
If someone wants to participate by the mic, he can raise his hand, and I will pick him. Then he can participate. Okay.
شكرا يا هاشم.
عفوا.
Okay, شكرا. Okay. And okay, guys, what do you think of this problem? It's a sequence. A, B, C, D. Let me just give you 1 minute, then I'll okay. Rafa, am I pronouncing your name correctly, Rafa? Rafa, can you use the mic, Rafa, and tell me why it's 49? Sorry, 94.
We added, first of all, from 3 to 4, we add 1, which is 1 squared. And from 4 to 8, it's 4, which is 2 squared.
Yes.
From 8 to 17, it's 9, which is 3 squared. And so on.
And so on, yeah. So, yeah, this is 4 squared, this is 5 squared, and this is 6 squared. So the answer is going to be, okay? So, I'm not saying like all the problems in the GAT test has to be like adding or squared number, but it's just I've picked this one. Okay. Any question about this one? Any question about this one? Yes or no? Shall I move? Yes, I can repeat. Like the thing, like what Rafa did, said like if she moves from 3 to 4, she just added 1 squared. When she moved from 4 to 8, she add 2 squared, and then 3 squared, 4 squared, 5 squared, 6 squared. So the answer is going to be 49, which is, this is just adding 36, which is 6 squared. Okay, Mishari, what I told a student about sequences, this is not the whole course. This is just seeing some problems, okay? So for sequences that are like some types which are like commonly come in test, like القدرات. So we tell a student, like we show them the different type of sequences they usually come. Well, this is one thing, and the other thing we ask them to do, to as much as you can solve for problems and follow for sequences, it would be easier for you to figure out how to do it. Okay, so the easiest way to learn how to do sequences is just to do as much problems as you can. Okay, then when you see it, just say, okay, you just figure it out yourself. Okay. Turkey, like showing like some shortcuts or something, it's not here in sequences, but I start with something simple. Okay, we'll see that later, like on different problems. Let me see this one. It's also a sequence, but I want to see it now and then move to a different thing. Turkey, like the first sequence, let me go back to the first one, Turkey, okay? And let me use a different color. For this one, what your friend says, he said, like, if I add prime numbers, I start like, but you feel like with the prime numbers, what's the first prime number? Which is, it starts with 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, and then 11, 13, isn't it? And if you go like Turkey here, this is, he just add 3, and then 5, and then 7. Sorry, there is no 9, 11. And then 11. And then what you just added, here is a here's a problem with adding prime numbers, okay? So the prime numbers like 2, 3, 5, 7, and then you move to 11, okay? So if you add 11, this is going to be 27, okay? I told him like it's correct, but then when you move on, it's not going to be correct, adding prime numbers. You see the problem now with adding prime numbers? Okay, so yeah. As I just said, like if you do more problems about sequences, you'll see how to do it like fast. You have to just to try. Practice makes better. Okay. Kamal says A 34. Can you tell me why, Kamal? Kamal? He can't use the, if he can't use the mic, maybe. Yes. So this is a famous sequence, like just go and add in these two terms gives you 1 plus 1 gives you 2. Then you add these two terms gives you the next one. 1 plus 2, which is 3. And then you add these two terms gives you 5. Add these two terms gives you 8, and so on. 13, 21. Then when you add these two, it's going to be 4, 3. Okay? And this sequence has a special name. Can anyone tell me the name of this sequence? Can anyone? Okay, I'll tell you the name. It's Fibonacci, okay? This is called Fibonacci sequence. Okay, now, as I said, like there are like so many different types of sequences. You have to see them all, how to do them all, and then practice. So, any question about this one, or shall I just move to a different type of questions? Next, okay. So here is another question here. Okay, and now we may just see some ways to do it like faster. It says if x is even, when we said even, it's an even number, means which of the following is odd? So which of the following is odd if x is an even number? C. Okay, so what's the idea? What's the idea? Correct. What's the idea? Can anyone tell me about the idea of doing this problem? And I say like fast, you're doing it fast, so you know how to do it. Tell me how. One way to do it is just to substitute x with an even number. So you just choose like maybe x to be 2, okay? This way of doing it, it may take some time because you're substituting, okay? So this is going to be 4. This is going to be 6 minus 2, which is 4. This is going to be 4 plus 3, which is 7. This is going to be 2 over 3, okay? So the answer is C. So this is one way to do it, just substitute. So is there another way just to figure out without doing any calculation? Yeah, here with me. Like for even and odd numbers, addition and subtraction. If you add or subtract even numbers, the result is going to be even. If you add and subtract odd numbers, the result is going to be even. And if you add and subtract even and odd, even with odd, the result is going to be odd. And here is an example, like 2 plus 10, even plus even gives me even. 3 minus 7, which is odd, negative odd, which gives me even. And if they are like different, like even and odd, 6 and 7, it gives me what? Odd. Okay. Other thing about multiplication, if you multiply with an even number, the result is going to be even. If you multiply with even number, it's giving you the result is going to be even. If odd times odd gives me odd. So if I know this one, if I have the problem again, since this is even, this is nothing, just x times x. So this has to be even without substituting any numbers, yeah? And I know that this is even and this is even because this is even, yes? So the whole thing is going to be even because there is subtraction. Both of them are even. Here, this is even, but this is odd. So even plus odd gives me odd. Okay? So this way, this is another way to do it. And this one sometimes going to be faster if the calculation is not easy. Sometimes some problems, the calculation is not easy. And also we're going, how about D? Yeah, there is a problem with D. If you substitute, there is a problem with D. Like when we substitute 2, the answer is going 2 over 3. This is not an integer. This is not an integer, okay? It's not a whole number. So if it's not a whole number, we can't say if it's even or odd, okay? Okay, so this one we can't say something about because sometimes it can't be a whole number. And let's say if you substitute 6, if you substitute x to be 6, this is going to be 6 over 3, which is 2. The answer is even. And if you substitute x to be, let's say 9, the answer is going to be 3, odd. So this one you can't take. Okay. Shall I move to our next one? But yeah. But what I'm saying, like, when I was talking about this one, it will help me in another problem. So if I want to do this one instead, how about this one? Look at this problem now. This is a practice for you. Let me count 1 minute for you. C. Okay, why C? Tell me why. Okay, but okay, it's correct, but we want to do it like faster without doing any calculations. Suppose like the numbers are like too big, okay? And instead like 0, 18, 21, 26, big numbers. Like, is there any way, like, or other way to look at the problem and just figure out the answer? It's odd, yeah, thank you. See, the idea is we're looking about the sum. This is the sum. What does it mean like 2 consecutive integers? If we say like 2 consecutive integers, one of them is even and the other is odd, isn't it? Like any 2 consecutive integers, like let's say if I say 2, it's followed by 3, isn't it? If I say 7, it's followed by 8, isn't it? So any two consecutive integers, one of them has to be even and the other is odd, or vice versa. One odd and the other is even, isn't it? You see now about even and odd. So if you add any two consecutive integers, one is even and the other is odd. And if you add even and odd, the result is going to be what? You add even number plus odd number. The result is going to be what? What's the result? Odd. So the answer is C. You see now? Yes. You see now? So now, instead of like doing some calculation, trying to figure out like a number, like as what Rafa said, like it's 10 plus 11. No, you just think this way. Two consecutive numbers. Okay, this is an odd number. Okay. And also if you start to work like, okay, if we add like three consecutive numbers, this one has a relation. If we add two odd numbers, oh, this one has a relation. Two even numbers, this one has a relation. If you just do it like for one time, see it, okay, you'll figure out how to do, like what's the relation. It should be easier for you if you see a problem. It should be easier to find the answer. Okay. Let me give you another question. Okay. Shall I give you another question? Like type it down here. Shall I? Yes. So it's the same. Which of the following can be written as a sum of two odd numbers? Okay. I'm talking about two odd numbers, not consecutive, two odd numbers. And let me give you the sum. Let's say it's 9. A is 9, and let's say 18 and 16 and 13. Can you eliminate any of the choices? Can you eliminate? Yes. First, like without doing anything, you can just eliminate 9 and 13. Why? Because the sum of two odd numbers, the answer has to be even. You see now? Even. Okay. So we eliminate 9 and 13. Okay. Okay. So we now left with two choices, 18 or 16. Okay. Yeah, two odds. So if it's two odd numbers, it has to be even. The answer has to be even. So now we just eliminate 9 and 13. So let me show you what's the relation between of adding two odd numbers. Let's just take two odd numbers. 1 plus 3. The answer is what? Yeah, 4. I know it's 16. Just bear with me. How about like 3 plus 5? This is 8. How about 5 plus 7? This is 12. How about 7 plus 9? This is 16. Can you see like which multiplication table this one? It's 4, 8, 12, 16. It's the multiplication table of which number? 4. Yes. So if you add any two odd numbers, okay, consecutive two odd numbers, the answer has to be divisible by 4. And the one that's divisible by 4 is 16. You see now? So if you know some relation about the numbers, it would be faster for you to solve the problems. So I know that adding any two consecutive odd numbers, first has to be even, second divisible by 4. We're done. You see now? And this is like this is the shortcuts you have to learn. So instead just of doing the problems, you have to know some shortcuts, and we'll save you time, and we'll see different things. Okay. Shall I move like to the next one? Yes. Here is a problem. If x over y is 8, find x plus 3y over y. B. Okay, why? Amara, tell me why. We'll see it Turkey now. Nabid. Amara, Juri, and Amara, can anyone just participate and tell me why it's B? Yes, Amara, thank you. So the idea, as just what Amara says, like we have this rule here. We can split any fraction, okay? We can split any fraction. Here, we're going to use this one to split this one, this fraction here. So this is nothing, just going to be x over y plus 3y over y, isn't it? Yes. Now, x over y, we have it here. We just substitute this one. So this is going to be 8. 3y over y, this is 3. Is it? So the answer is 11. Let me give you one. Yes, there is a different way to do it, like to find the value of y and then substitute, okay? But this is faster. If you do it this way, it's going to be faster for you. So, because we don't care what's the value of x and what's the value of y, isn't it? We only care about the fraction, the value of the fraction, isn't it? So I don't care about x and y. So if I can do it without wasting time finding x and y, it would be faster for me. Let me give you another one to practice. So how about this one? You see now, if you want to find x and y, it would be like too much calculation. But if you do it the other way, it will be faster. D. Yes. So we're going to use the same rule as before, this one, and split the fraction. So this is nothing, just 5 over 2 xy, isn't it? Yeah. Plus 6 over 2 y over y. You see, I split the fraction. Let me use a different color. So x over y is 2. So this is just 5 over 2 times 2. And these 2 goes 6 over 2, which is 3. If you just simplify, it's only 5 plus 3, which is 8. So now it's faster than finding the value of x and substitute. It would be like too much calculations. But now it's just easy. You see now? Yeah. So as I just said, like to study for the test, it's not about solving 1,000 problems. No, it's learning how to do them fast and accurately, okay? This is the most important. I mean, this way of doing it for me, this is more accurate than finding the value of x and then substitute. You may just miss something, okay? So any question, or should I just move to a different type of problems? Because we only have a limited time, so I'm going to show you a different type of problems. Next, okay. Here is, you all know the one place which is the unit digit of any number, the unit digits, which is the right digit. So for this number, 5,647, the ones or the unit digit is 7. For this one, the product of these two numbers, 5 times 3, the unit digit is 5. And 12 squared, the unit digit is what? I'm looking only at the unit digit, which is 4. Thank you. So the idea here, this is 12 times 12, which is 144. So the unit digit is the product. I want you to focus with me. The unit digit here is the product of the unit digit. Okay? You see it now? If you multiply 2 times 2 gives you the unit digit, which is 4. It's the same here. 5 times 3 gives you 5. Even if like there is number here, 1, 2, 3, 7, the unit digit is going to be the unit digit of the unit digits gives you the unit digits. Even in addition, subtraction, it's the same. Okay? So if you do the operation as the unit digits, gives you the unit digits. Let's just see a problem to understand this one. So here is a problem asking me to find this multiplication. So this is a question and test. Shall I do all the steps? No. B, B, B. Why? Can anyone tell me why B? Yeah, why? Thank you. Because I know that 4 times 9, if I multiply them, the unit digit, which is 36, the unit digit is 6. So there is only one has 6, and the answer is B. Yes, B. This type of question, and instead of doing all the steps, taking me maybe a minute, now I just done it like in 2 or 3 seconds. Yes, B. Because when I multiply the unit digits, I get the unit digits. It's not only this way, I can do it the other way around. Shall I see the next one, which is a practice for you? Yes, here. How to do this problem now. C, yes, yes, because this is doing it like the opposite direction. So instead, you're saying which number, like no. I used 6 and 3 here, but doing when I talked about the ones, I said addition, subtraction, multiplication, isn't it? Have I talked about division? Did I talk about no? Yes, even with even and odd, I talked about addition, subtraction, multiplication. I haven't talked about division because in division, sometimes the answer is different. So how to do this one then? It's the same thing. This is nothing but I can change the division sign. This can be written as 6, 6, 3, 5, 6. It's times 3 times something, isn't it? Isn't it? Yes, because it's I've changed. It has something I have to multiply here. So I know the ones for this one is a 3. So 3 times what to gives you 6? Is it times 0 to gives you 6? Yeah, 0. Is it times 4 to gives you 6? No. Is it times 5 to gives you 6? No. Is it times 2? Yes. So this is the answer. Okay. No. غلط. Division, it's not always true. Let me show you something. غلط, to understand. When I talked, I was careful. I said like addition, subtraction, multiplication. It's not about division. Here, غلط. 3, 3, 3. Okay. Okay, غلط. Let me give you 3 different numbers. If I use here 3, if I use here 6, if I use here 9. Okay. Okay. So 3 over 3, this is 1. 6 over 3, this is 2. 9 over 3, this is 3. You see? So division, it's not the same. Let me give you another one. You see now? Now you see this one. So with division, no, it's not. Even if it's let's just don't. When we're talking about the ones with multiplication, it won't change the answer if it's decimal. Okay. won't change the answer, Rafa. It's still the same thing of doing it, okay? Abdullah, for the division part, we do divide the 2 digits or multiply. We've changed the problem from division to multiplication to use what we know about the ones, okay? Okay, so this is one way. You need an example different than this one. Let me go back. I need to use let me give you another problem, okay? Let me give you another problem here to see. Just a sec. I want to find the here 4, 2, 7, 7, 1, 6. I want to find the square root of this number. Let me give you an let's see 0, 2, so which one is the answer? The square root of this one. You see now? Because here is another one. Yes, you see now it's become easy. Why? Because I know that if I squared the choices, the answer has to be the same one. So the ones of these squares has to be 6. So if I square 0, I get 0. So this is no. If I square 2, I get 4. So this isn't accepted. If I squared 4, I get 6. If I square 7, I get 9. So the answer is this one.